final matchup of the regular season between these two teams. Could they meet in the postseason? Well, they very well could. It's the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball along with Dallas Braden. I am Glenn Kuiper. Interesting pitching matchup tonight. Couple of good pitchers. Let's start with the Yankees' Luis Severino. He's got 17 wins, Dallas. Great start, but the last month and a half, he has really struggled.
It's been a little bumpy. Got off to a tremendous start in the first half of the season. Supplanted him right smack dab in the middle of the Cy Young conversation. Has been bumpy, to your point, Kuip, over the second half. Looking to become just the third Yankee starter to record multiple 200 strikeout seasons.
And for the A's, Mike Fiers, he's coming off his worst start as an A, and that happened against the Mariners, so he'll try to bounce back.
Looking for a little bounce back. You're absolutely right. He's pitched very well since joining the Oakland A's. Has pitched very well here at the Coliseum. So for a starting rotation that has sort of stumbled, looking to get that entire group back on track with a bounce back outing.
And a wonderful pregame ceremony tonight as the inaugural A's Hall of Fame class. Pretty good group, folks. Pretty good group. You recognize them. Reggie, Stu, all the big names. We'll talk about that, and we're going to have Reggie in the booth tonight. So all that and the rubber game of the series between the A's and the Yankees. Looking forward to it. Game time weather for tonight presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. Here are the numbers. 60 degrees. It's going to be a cool one, and it's breezy tonight. So September baseball with the Yankees in town, and it is the rubber game of the series as Brett Gardner steps in against Mike Fiers. We'll give you the rest of the Yankees lineup in just a moment. So Fiers looking for his 11th win. He kicks and deals the first pitch of the game, and it's a strike.
You mentioned like to see a little bounce back from Mike Fiers. Things didn't go quite as planned last time around against Seattle, only 3 2/3, but has pitched extremely well for the Oakland A's since joining the club.
Yeah, by far his worst start as a member of the Athletics. Gave up 5 runs and 7 hits in those 3 2/3 innings. Uncharacteristic really of him all year.
And aside from the start prior to being moved, his shortest outing of the year.
A little high to Gardner.
Well, that's what we've grown accustomed to seeing from Mike Fiers, whether it's balls up in the top of the zone, strikes as well. He's done a great job of pitching up in the zone. Not going to overpower you, but he can locate.
And now 3-1 to Gardner. Gardner at 239 with 12 home runs. Good night last night. A couple of hits, a couple of runs scored, an RBI, a stolen base for Gardner. Did all that out of the leadoff spot. He hits one to right, hits it pretty well. Piscotty going back, Piscotty near the wall, and he makes the catch. So a long out to start the ball game. Let's take a look at the Yankees lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You saw Gardner. He'll be followed by Stanton, McCutchen, Hicks, Sanchez, Voit, Walker, Hechavarria, and Torres.
It's going to be Mike Fiers. 27th start of the season, split in time obviously between Detroit here and Oakland. And again, with a rotation that has seen some hits, has taken its lumps.
Dan Bellino is calling balls and strikes tonight. Adam Amari at first, Phil Cuzzy at second. That's Tom Halley, and the crew chief is down at third. So these two have had some uncomfortable moments in their careers. Am I right? Mike Fiers and Giancarlo Stanton. Remember, Fiers hit Stanton in the pitch in the jaw a couple years ago, and had a few run-ins since then. And that one is ripped. 0-2 pitch, bangs off the wall on one hop. Mariano gets it in quickly, and Stanton has a one-out double on an 0-2 pitch.
Well, in watching Stanton today during batting practice early on in his rounds, he doesn't utilize his lower half, just tries to get the top half going, and I think that is something we've kind of seen, Kipe, throughout the beginning of this series. You mentioned it, standing a little taller at the plate, not as closed off. 115 miles an hour off the bat.
Speed. So here's McCutchen. McCutchen at 251 with 15 home runs. He's got 55 RBIs. Most of those numbers coming with the Giants. McCutchen playing in his 5th game with the Yankees. He hits that one well to right center. Mariano hustles back, makes the catch. Stanton to third for the second out. Well, tonight any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
Not many of those from the righty Mike Fiers. You're going to get it all day long from the other guy.
Yeah. Luis Severino. Yeah.
That's a beautiful part about the art of pitching. While velocity can definitely aid and assist in your success, doesn't always have to be the pillar of your pitching performance. Move the baseball around, keep these guys off balance. That's the art of pitching.
Here's the cleanup man, Aaron Hicks. He's a switch hitter, and he takes first pitch in for a strike. Hicks at 252, 24 homers and 66 RBIs. He's got 16 doubles, a couple of triples.
And I tell you, just kind of watching Hicks from the left side. If I'm a right-handed pitcher, I might think about attacking right around the hand level for Hicks. I mean, he's got juice, but
like that?
Well, exactly. You watch his setup. He's got a leg kick. He's a little noisy, as we say, at the plate. He's got some movement with his hands. And for me, for guys who are noisy or move their hands a little, I like to attack right at that zone. It kind of forces them to make a decision. Do I want to stay on plane with this ball, go down and get it?
So are you saying that a guy with a lot of hand movement like you're talking about may be more of a low ball hitter than a high ball hitter?
Well, it's all dependent upon really his bat path, but what I'm saying is I would like to attack an area that I see movement in. So he's quiet during the initial setup, but as fire starts to wind up, you'll see sort of a waggle occur.
Yeah, there's a lot going on up there.
And there's a waggle. It's taking the bat away from his body, and then it's also keeping the hands up. So with those movements, take a look. There's the waggle, and then you see the hands back up. There's just, for me, there's a lot of movement going on there. And again, I'm just somebody who tries to find every little thing I can to pick on to attack a guy because I don't have that 97 in the back pocket.
3-1 pitch is a good one. Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Now the count is full to Hicks.
Three-two, 2 outs. Might be a time for Fiers to break out the old changeup.
In the dirt, and Hicks takes the walk. Here's the A's defense tonight. Chad Pinder's in left, Ramon Laureano is in center, and Stephen Piscotty is in right. Chapman and Simeon on the left side, Lowry Olson on the right side. Josh Fegley is your catcher tonight. A's with an off day tomorrow.
That's right, and I think...
What a concept, huh?
Well, I think the idea is also, you know what, give Lucroy a little breather. You give him the day off today. Maybe it's a defensive substitution later in the ball game. Who knows? The game situation will dictate that. But then you give him a full day off tomorrow. Let him regroup and gather himself for the stretch. And that's just Bob Melvin really having a feel.
And you know, if you think about it, and I think managers and training staff, they do look at it this way. If you have Wednesday off, Thursday off, and you do not play till 7 o'clock on Friday, it's really 2.5 days
That's
off.
right. And the body will thank you, especially in September.
And for a strike to Gary Sanchez. Sanchez hitting 185, 14 home runs, 43 RBIs.
Sanchez has not quite been the guy that they had hoped would resurface come the second half.
Well, I would say this: any team that is going to be in the postseason in the American League, you do not want Gary Sanchez to resurface.
No.
Because if he does, he is a streaky hitter. And then you get Aaron Judge back, and then you get Didi Gregorius back, and all of a sudden that lineup gets very long.
Yeah. Feel free to stay dormant.
33 home runs last year by Sanchez, 14 this year.
Yeah, I mean, the power is still there. It's really just been a lack of that big hit for Gary Sanchez. 216 with runners in scoring position. So for one of your big boppers, you'd like to see those numbers reflect his ability to do damage.
Off the plate, and now it's 2-1.
2-1. You don't want to necessarily give in here and have to come back into the count with a fastball. If you do, it better be well located.
It comes inside, and the pitch is a little bit inside, not by much.
When you see the check from Sanchez, that tells you There's a good chance he's looking heater. This one here just crowded him far enough inside. He did not offer, and you said it, Kite, just a hair off.
Swing through that time, but maybe not where Fires wanted it location-wise.
Nope, little backup cutter. He'd bottle it if he could.
Fires 10th in the league in ERA. Not a lot of walks. Just 30 walks now in 147 innings. So full count, Hicks will run. He's at first. Stanton is over at third. This one is fouled. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Hey, will you stop stepping on my mic cord?
Trying to save you. You ended up below deck. I mean,
you mic cord stepper, honor you.
Got the cracking at the dish, Kite. Head on a swivel.
Another 3-2. Here it is. Missed outside.
Just looking to make a move. I got you, Kite.
Get off my cord. We really are friends, though.
We can get a short leash up here. Scott Emerson out to settle down the righty Mike Fires.
Now in the sixth position.
Take you back to last night. The big bopper from the right side. Luke Voigt gets a changeup from Rodney. Didn't change much of anything except for the score. And Kipe, he is not a small human.
No, he's a big boy.
There's video of Mr. Voigt that has surfaced on the internet. One-arm bench press, 135 pounds, no big deal.
Oh, that's it?
You saw what happened last night. Let me take you back to Monday. Day game, sinker, down from Cahill. He inside outs this ball, opposite field, and you can see the look of bewilderment on Cahill's face. That's probably what a lot of folks' face look like. Just not used to seeing balls hit like that in that location, out of the yard where that thing left.
7 home runs in his last 12 games. And a good pitch right at the knees. 1-1 to count. Luke Voigt.
Good fastball, good downhill angle. Luke Voigt really loading up on that backside.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. High pop-up, and it looks like it's going to reach the seats, and it will.
And take a look at Luke Voigt here, the side swing. Check out this front foot. Gets good on that backside, and then it just sort of coasts. Helps him out with that transfer, really load up on that backside, and when it's go time or decision time, got a nice transfer of weight.
One-two pitch. Fouled it back, high fastball.
Oh, good heater up.
So 26 pitches for Fiers here in the first inning. The bases are loaded for the Yankees.
Fiers can go a couple different ways here. See if he tries to zip a fastball by him.
Fegley with a nice block, that big overhand curve, which looks like at this point, very early in the game, maybe doesn't have a feel for it just yet.
Yeah, it's the second one he's bounced here. Hasn't been close. Tremendous effort by Fegley. This is what happens, boys and girls. You don't have anywhere to go. Got the bags juiced. You got to body up.
2-2 pitch. Curveball hit to Chapman. Nice play and a backhand. Hustles to third. Steps on the bag. Side retired. Yankees leave him loaded. A's come to the bag.
Toyota, designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
All right, let's take a quick look at the A's starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Laureano in the leadoff spot tonight, then Chapman, Lowry, Davis, Olson, Piscotty, Simeon, Pinder, and Fegley. Hard throwing Luis Severino. Laureano in the leadoff spot tonight. He takes a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right there for a strike. .292 for Laureano. 3 home runs. Throw in 4 doubles, 4 stolen bases. And he drills one to left. Gardner back, sails right over his head, bounces up against the wall. Laureano into second with a leadoff double.
Kid's a player, Kite. There's no doubt about it. Pop at the top of the lineup. He's got wheels as well. We know about the defense and the unbelievable arm. But I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I really feel like in a short period of time, we have watched Ramon Laureano take strides as a ball player at the big league level. As an A's fan, you have got to be excited about what the future can hold when you think about the Laureanos and the Chapmans of the world.
A lot of tools there.
Oh.
Chapman fouls a fastball down the right side.
Mentioned Luis Severino, the fireballer for the New York Yankees. 29th start tonight here against Oakland. Had an unbelievable first half. Second half not so much, not quite to the expectation or the billing of Luis Severino.
Well, here's the breakdown. First 19 starts, 14-2, 2.12 ERA. Last 9 starts, 3-4, 6.42. So there has to be some concern in Yankee land, because we're not talking about 2 or 3 starts, we're talking about 9.
Right.
So that's a month and a half.
And something I think about, Kipe, as I was kind of diving through the numbers, 28 starts coming into tonight, exactly 14 of those. So I'm not a math major, but I believe that's exactly half.
50%.
Roughly, have been 100 pitches or more. So 14 of the 28 starts for Luis Severino, 100 pitches or more, as high as 115. So I think that's something to consider when you think about a young man wearing down at this point in time of the season. Maybe the numbers.
Yeah, just his second full year in the big leagues.
Because he's even as we've seen here, excuse me, it's the bottom of the first inning, but already 5 pitches. And the fastball just doesn't quite seem to have that same life in the zone, or that gear.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the year, if he really wanted to, he could run it right past you.
Oh, there's no doubt. You're talking about a guy who's featuring the hardest average fastball velocity in baseball for a starting pitcher, 97.6 miles an hour. And for context, average around the league is 92.4.
Severino beat the A's on the 13th of May in New York. He went 6 innings, gave up just 1 run. That was when he was rolling along. That is not the case right now. Big chopper. Echeverria quickly to first to get Chapman, and Laureano stays at second base. So that's out number 1. Defensively for the Yankees, Gardner, Hicks, and McCutcheon in the outfield. Walker, Echeverria, Torres, and Voit on the infield, with Gary Sanchez again catching. But more on Severino, Dallas. Last year, his first full year in the big leagues, he was very good. 14 wins, 2.98 ERA, 193 innings. And again, 24 years old. He's a big, strong guy.
Well, he is. You can see how he's built physically. Nice, solid foundation. He's a thick kid. So stallion is a word that comes to mind as far as.
Sanchez can't control that one. Zips right past him. So Laureano now at third, and the Yankees are going to have to pull the infield in.
Yeah, this could be trouble for the New York Yankees. Laureano, as we mentioned, a very good runner, very instinctual ball player. So right now for Gary Sanchez, he has got to body up, breakers in the dirt. This can now start to affect Severino here. Only 1 out, man on third base. If you don't have the confidence to bury a secondary pitch, could end up hanging one. That could be damage.
Get the runner in from third with less than 2 outs. Jed Lowry, 64%. I like to know the league average. It's 54%. So Jed's been pretty good. For some strange reason, and I don't know why, I always think it should be better than 54%. It's not easy. You got to lift the ball, or you got to hit a line drive.
One thing to keep in mind, Kipe, this game built on failure.
I'd like to know what it was 20 years ago, before the strikeout became such a big part of this. No. Let's get the call there by Tom Hallion.
Take a peek from the side here. Looks like Jed might be living right tonight.
Tom Hallion, your address is, I'd like to send you a thank you card. So a full count, and make it 3-1, excuse me. There's a shot to right field and a base hit. Laureano comes in to score. A's lead 1-0. Number 87 in the RBI column for Jed Lowrie.
Looks like Severino goes changeup here. 90 miles an hour.
Designated hitter.
Jed Lowrie, head down. On time. Infield in, don't matter. Drop one in over the top of him. Laureano just double checking.
Here's Chris Davis in the outside corner first try. Here's the American League RBI leaders. 7th now is Jed Lowrie. 3 ahead of the Yankees Stanton.
Well, for Luis Severino, it hasn't been a smooth road in the first inning. 3.86 ERA. That's a high mark until you get to the 5th. 7.18 ERA. But as you can see, Severino struggling here in the first, and that's sort of been the story.
Right field. McCutchen back. McCutchen turns around and it's off the wall. A little deep by McCutchen, but 2nd and 3rd for the A's, 1 away.
Tell you what, we're impressed with the double. But there's something a little more at play here on behalf of Andrew McCutchen. Typically as a base runner, if you see the back of an outfielder, that's your cue to go ahead and get it moving. Well, instead of showing the back to the outfielder, McCutchen posts up and he dekes it. He dekes Jed. Jed's got to go halfway. You can see just looking for this thing to come off the wall.
You know what? That's a really good play.
It's a tremendous play.
I mean, it really is, because he pulled it off. And now you watch the game unfold here. You watch this inning unfold and see if he saved a run.
Well, no doubt. And you can take a look right here. Jed Lowrie is anticipating this ball being caught. And as you can see, as soon as Andrew McCutchen turns his head, Jed Lowrie is off. And you can see Severino. He's getting ready to go back up 3rd. Thinking, hey, we might have a tag play here. That's not the case.
So the A's 2nd and 3rd. 0-1 to Matt Olson. Right through Sanchez. Laureano scored. 2-0 A's. I don't think that ball was in the dirt.
It was not, and that is the 2nd fastball that Gary Sanchez has had trouble corralling. You can see he tries to go down to block this, but this is just a matter of the baseball being beyond him.
See, they call that a wild pitch, and I don't think that's a good call.
That's not a good call at all, in my opinion. Wild pitch, that ball doesn't hit the dirt, that ball hits leather before it hits anything else. That's a pass ball.
So either way, the A's lead at 2-0. And that one in the dirt. Now it's 2-1.
Well, Gary Sanchez not having an easy go here early on.
Pitch number 19 coming up. Drive, left field, Gardner on the move. He's not going to get it, and that one is off the top of the wall. Olson to 2nd with an RBI double as Davis scores. 3-0 Athletics.
Strike up the band, Kipe. It's hit parade time. The Oakland A's are rolling. Matt Olson, little heater away. And we've talked about it all season long. Matt Olson, as he continues to make strides, continues to swing the bat well. You see him start to go the other way. That's a dude right there you do not want to let get extended. Big, strong arms, creates leverage from way up top. A lot of loud noise coming out of the bat rack right now for the Oakland A's.
69th RBI for Matt Olson. He gets it on his 31st double.
Right fielder.
So here's Piscotty, still only one out. Piscotty, 22 homers, 69 runs batted in.
Well, I think what you're seeing right now is an Oakland A's team who decided, you know what, we're not going to wait around. We're going to get it going early. A lot of fastballs from Severino. A lot of strikes from Severino. Well, man of the dish right now on fire. Got a little help from the center field wall last night. We're all friends here. Even Scotty continuing to roll.
Piscotty with 22 home runs and 37 doubles. So 59 extra base hits this year. And that one pops off Sanchez's glove. Olson's going to go to third. It was a swing and a miss. It was not a foul ball.
Well, another changeup, and you can see Gary Sanchez just caught in between. He's just unsure on how to catch this. Cioli, good read, taking off. Typically, you're reading down angle, reading that ball in the dirt, but these balls haven't quite made it to the dirt.
2-2 pitch. And that one gets past Sanchez, and in comes Olson, and it's 4-0. Well, that one will be a wild pitch. But right now, Gary Sanchez is having a miserable inning.
Well, and you hate to beat a dead horse. But this is, I mean, the bottom line is this is just lacking in fundamental. This is lacking in effort here. You've got guys on the base path. You have to body up. You have to square up and knock this thing down. I talked about taking the confidence away from your pitcher if you're unable to execute.
So Piscotty strikes out there. And, well, listen, that is the reputation of Sanchez. He's a below-average catcher.
Well, that's, I think that's kind of the take-home message. As of right now, this inning, not sure if it's 3 or 4 pass balls, but we're talking anywhere
2 and
from
2 wild pitches, 2 pass balls.
Yeah, my book's got it 3 and 1.
3 and 1.
Yep. So that's
the book of Dallas.
It's probably 240 feet worth of free bases, a couple runs.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-0 to Marcus Semien. A little bit low. Well, it's double frustration for your pitcher because he's getting knocked around. Good Ricky ball there, 2-1.
You said the tough part for Severino, as you just mentioned, kind of getting hit a little bit. He'd like to be able to figure that out. He'd like to be able to bury a breaking ball.
Echeverria with a nice play, and he throws out Marcus Semien. The A's drop a 4 spot on Luis Severino. They get 4 hits, 3 of them doubles, couple pass balls, couple wild pitches, 4-0. So Mike Fiers, who had a 28-pitch first inning, he got out of the jam. Severino could not get out of a jam. So the Yankees left the bases loaded in the top of the first.
There you go, Kipe. Shut down innings. Something Mike Fiers would like to do a little bit better job of. He's got a 4 spot to work with.
Olsen shuffles to his right, and that is the first out. And let's check in with Carl tonight.
Guys, I'm standing with Dave Kaval, president of the A's, who was one of the masterminds behind the most beautiful ceremony before the game, the induction ceremony of the Athletics' first Hall of Fame class. Dave, tell us why now? Why is it so important to honor these 7 men?
Well, I think in honor of our 50th anniversary in Oakland, it was a great way to celebrate our history, to have these 7 great individuals honored here, and to have a great tradition on a go-forward basis of a Hall of Fame.
So what is the go-forward basis? This will be an annual event. How will the next class be selected?
Well, we have a group of media members and actually fans and actually the actual Hall of Fame inductees who are all going to vote on future years, and we're going to have a class of anywhere from 4 to 7 people every year.
Very cool to see a couple of Oakland guys in this year's class.
I love that part. It was amazing. It was so genuine to hear what they said on the field. A great moment for the A's.
Absolutely. Beautiful ceremony. Very well done. Looking forward to seeing future Hall of Famers celebrated year after year. Thanks, Dave.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Guys, back up to you. Beautiful ceremony. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. It was fun to see the guys. Nicely done by the Athletics. Well deserving. Stewart, Fingers, Eckersley, Henderson, Jackson, Hunter, Charlie Finley. And I see the lady in the middle is Catfish Hunter's wife, Helen. Gentleman third from the right is Charlie Finley's son, Paul Finley. So indeed, with Dave Stewart, Ricky Henderson from Oakland, Dennis Eckersley's from Fremont.
Right, very local. Well, and I think the other cool thing about this, Kipe, is for all the folks involved behind the scenes, it really incites a sense of pride, a sense of community, and you can see how much they've put into us, how excited they were to have this ceremony, to be a part of it, to honor these men who very, very deserve it.
That one is ripped down the left field line, and it is foul. Danny Echeverria almost hit another home run. He's got 1 in this series.
Well, it's a loud strike in my book.
Plenty foul. So 0-2 the count. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Took a little off. First strikeout for Fiers.
It's unfair. You're not supposed to have a string attached. Nice little split from Mike Fiers. And folks, this thing has depth in the zone. That's what's impressive about this. 2 strikes, you throw a 2-strike pitch. Typically, you're looking to expand the strike zone. Not here. 4 strikes with depth.
So 2 outs for Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres to short. Simeon to first. 3 up, 3 down inning for Mike Fiers. We are headed to the bottom of the second. 4-0 the A's lead. appearances tonight. That's pretty cool. A's Hall of Famers. One of those gentlemen, Reginald Martinez Jackson, is going to be joining us next half inning, so that'll be fun.
The straw. Scale of 1 to excited, Kipe. I am through the roof.
You stretching out, stretching it up, getting ready. Driven to right center. Hicks is over there. Pinder is retired. And that'll bring up Fegley.
The catcher, 19.
So Severino, just like Fires,
Fegley.
trying to settle things down a little bit in the second inning. Fires was able to do that. Yeah, the difference is Fires didn't give up any runs in the first. Severino gave up 4.
Severino battling himself.
Hit pretty well to left. Gardner going back. Gardner near the wall. Gardner leaps up and he caught it. Nice play by Brett Gardner right up against the wall.
Yeah, this ain't the left field out in the Bronx. See Gardner tracking the ball, does a good job of picking up the wall, folks. Ball. He checks the ball, checks for the wall, back to the ball, and is able to make a play. Severino excited about it. He appreciates it.
So now to the top of the order, and Ramon Laureano, who opened up that 4-run first inning with a double. Gardner's got a gold glove a couple of years ago. So quickly 0-2 to Laureano. Sanchez able to block that one.
Change up again.
High fastball, 97 miles an hour. So Severino does have a good second inning. Third inning coming up. It's 4-0 Athletics.
Is brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
So the A's with a 4-0 lead. It is the top of the third. And it is the top of the order for the Yankees. Gardner, Stanton, and McCutchen. So 28 pitches in the first inning for Fires, 9 in the second inning.
That's what you call right in the ship.
That's right.
And again, it was a nice momentum inning. Get the boys back in. Obviously, Severino did his job on the flip side.
Gardner opened up the ball game with a deep fly ball to right field. Slap down the left field line. It is just foul.
Not by much. Gardner gets a split from Fiers, tries to stay inside, just a little fillet job.
Oh.
Just a touch. Good looking lid.
Good looking lid, absolutely. Keep you warm.
A really good looking lid.
Yeah. She looks great in that, but not as good as you did.
Thanks, friend.
Gardner goes after that big curveball and just got a piece of it.
When you know Fiers' curveball, it really does serve two purposes. Not only does it change the eye level, but it's a tremendous reduction in speed as well. And he's already got the devastating split finger. For him to be able to throw that wrinkle in and change eye level, as well as create that separation of velocity.
1-2 is bounced toward Lowry. Lowry comes in, flips on the run. So Gardner is retired for the first start here in the third inning. And that'll bring up Giancarlo Stanton.
Now batting, number 27, Giancarlo Stanton.
Stanton on an 0-2 pitch in the first inning hit a line drive to right center field. His line drives are a little bit different than other people's line drives.
Some call them line drives. I believe laser beam is a phrase used to describe Stanton.
Now this is the conflict between Fiers and Stanton that we talked about, and well, that was just an incredibly scary moment. And Mike Fiers, you could tell he was very shaken up over what happened, and Stanton missed the rest of that season.
Yeah, and I think it's goes without saying a big part of the reason that Giancarlo made the adjustments he did. That's why you see the C flap on his helmet now.
So 1-2 the count. Stanton this year 33 home runs. And that one's hit very high right center. Laureano circling, makes the catch. So that is out number 2. Now this is the rest of the Fiers Stanton situation. This is this year when Fiers was with the Tigers, and he hit him. And Stanton
Now batting, number 26, Andrew Pelcher.
And then later in that game, a home run. Stanton with a bat flip. And there's that.
It's cat and mouse. Cat and mouse, Kite. You know, the big guy like Stanton, I say it all the time, if he wakes up and puts a bat in his hand, he's in scoring position. So that's not a guy that you want to anger, but that's also not a guy you're looking to put on first base. You'd like to get him out, but he's nobody you want to ruffle feathers with.
And you certainly can understand Stanton's point. I mean, the guy broke his jaw and
Sure,
put him out for 2 months, and you don't forget that.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. But as a starting pitcher, you've got to be able to pitch inside as well. And that's what Mike Fiers is trying to do, establish a portion of the zone that he can take away or he can dictate.
0-2 to Andrew McCutcheon. Got him with a high fastball. Good inning. That's 7 in a row retired by Mike Fiers. Reggie Jackson, the Hall of Famer, is in the booth. And we're looking forward to talking to Reggie. We'll do that when we come back. We're honored to have Reggie Jackson in the booth. He's a new member of the Oakland A's Hall of Fame. Reggie, thanks for stopping by.
Well, thanks for having me, and you know, just it's kind of a celebration, really, the whole evening, because it's a special feeling being here tonight. I mean, I come all the time whenever the Yankees are in town, see the games, but you know, being inducted into the Hall of Fame with the players on the field that were there today. There's Dallas, you know, there's some pretty special guys out there today, and so I was very honored.
Yeah, and you think about the moments you had here. Great moments in New York, obviously. A whole bunch of World Series rings for you. Does anything stand out about your time with the Athletics? I mean, you were here from day one, 1968.
The memories go way back, all the way back to my minor league games when I started out in Modesto, California with Joe Rudy, Dave Duncan, Raleigh Fingers was there as well. Tony La Russa was there. And then from there, I went down to Birmingham, Alabama. And in 1967, it was very difficult as a minority. I was the only black player on the team. And Dave Duncan, Joe Rudy, Raleigh Fingers took such good care of me because I was the only colored kid, black guy on the team, and I couldn't find a place to stay. So I slept on Rudy and Duncan and Fingers' couch for about a month and a half. So I couldn't find a place to stay, and finally they were threatening to throw them out. And Sharon Rudy got on the phone with her brother in California, who was an attorney or someone, and was fighting for me to stay. You know, and finally I left and found a hotel in town. But all over the South then when we played, you know, I'll never forget those guys. They took care of me. They looked out for me. And to this day, you know, my memories of Raleigh and Joe Rudy and Dave Duncan, they're special. They're very close to me, and I'll never forget them.
So, Mr. Jackson, does that play a role, obviously, in the feeling that you had as you shared with everybody here in the pregame ceremony? The camaraderie, because I think the first thing we talk about when we walk away from the game is the clubhouse. That is what we miss, and sharing that wonderful story about the camaraderie created in the minor leagues. Is that probably playing a part into the emotion you experienced today? You
know, Dallas, I don't say probably. You're 100% on it. I felt more sentimental. Go ahead. Base hit up the middle.
We're here with the hoper. This is you, Reg. We're enjoying you, my friend.
You know, my emotions and feeling sentimental, and you know, just realizing how special it is to be here with these guys. And like I said, on the field, when you turn around, you could be looking at arguably the greatest reliever in history, and if not, it's Eckersley. Of course, the standard everyone recognizes, Mariano Rivera. But man, there was some couple guys behind me that are in the last page and the last paragraph of who's the greatest. And they may not be the last name,
right.
But and Ricky Henderson, I have always felt that he's one of the 10 to 12 greatest players in the history of baseball. And
that is speaking
volumes. Mean, when you think about it, Braden, and he's 600 stolen bases ahead of the next guy behind him. You know, he's got 88 or 90 leadoff home runs. The next guy has like 40. And this guy was a walking run, if you will. Oh. You know, get on first base, steal second and third, and everyone in the ballpark knew it.
The Ricky runs.
Exactly. I mean, so, you know, being on the field with those guys, it's a very special thing for me. I got tears in my eyes when when we did it in center field, and then we came out and did it again. And then Dave Stewart, I know Dave Stewart since he's 10. Years old. He's sneaking in here in the ballpark. And there's more in the backstory. When he waited for me after the game, he used to watch my car in the parking lot F, and we'd take the front tire off of his bicycle and put his bike in the trunk, and I'd drive him home.
Wow.
And that's a true, it's a cool story. And then the next time I saw him, he was with the Dodgers in spring training, and I was like, wow. You know, here you are.
Here you are.
Then he bounced around a little bit until he found himself, and he was a start pitcher, and he was pitching for the Dodgers at a relief, and we had a series, and I hit a home run off him. So I mean, I never really faced him that much, but I hit a home run off him.
Did you offer him a ride after the game that day?
No. He was still young and stuff like that, but I never saw him when he had to stare.
Oh.
You know, when
that is real.
Yeah.
That is very real. He kind of gives me goosebumps and intimidates me when we sit next to each other.
When he says hi.
That's right.
Reggie, with all the things that you're talking about as far as your time here and how you began your career with the Athletics, is it easier for you to be nostalgic about your time with the A's compared to your time with the Yankees? Doesn't mean your time with the Yankees wasn't terrific, because it obviously was, but from a nostalgic standpoint, is it easier for you to feel that way here?
The nostalgia, Glenn, is here because I was here when I was 19 years old. I was in the big leagues when I had just barely turned 20, and I didn't make it. I came to the big leagues in Kansas City, and I got sent back down to the minors, and I was crying. I didn't know if I could play. I didn't know if I was good enough, and stuff like that. But the organization kept their arms around me and, you know, brought me through the difficulty.
Walker knocks it down. He's going to get the out at first, so the A's will have second and third with one out. Check out this resume. It's just fun to look at, and it could go on and on. This is all we had room for, Reggie. So 5 World Series titles, 3 with the A's, 2 with the Yankees. 1973 American League MVP, World Series MVP twice. 563 career home runs. And you know, I got.
They need to change the strikeouts. I also had 2,580 hits or something. See, so they should put that in there and knock those strikeouts out.
There you go. There you go.
Although the way the guys are going today, I got a chance to get that out of there.
you're gonna, you know, 10 years from now, you're going to be dropping down that strikeout.
I hope so. But you know, I guess it's because I was young. And you grew up with the guys. You didn't think about ever being traded. You just only knew the guys you were with. And when I did get traded, I was devastated because Duncan and Rudy were like brothers to me. And I just didn't really know what end was up, to be honest with you, when I got traded. I was there when Catfish was here, and it was just very hard for me when I got traded. I did not get it. I didn't understand it.
Well, we talked about you the other day, and the fact that you think about the A's, you think about the Yankees, but You spent a year with the Orioles. And
Yes.
and I remember being a kid thinking it's Reggie Jackson, he's an Oakland A. And then it was during spring training, am I right?
Yes, I was traded April the 2nd.
Yeah, so it was right.
Just
And I
before
remember
the
as a
season
kid
started.
thinking, that's weird. Reggie's going to be with the Orioles? That doesn't make any sense to me. It was just very strange.
You know, Glenn, it was the start, Braden, it was the start of free agency. And that the thing with Andy Messersmith was turned over, and you could no longer extend the guy's contract year after year after year. It was not in perpetuity. You know, the clause, the free agent clause, was defined differently, and then you were allowed to become a free agent. And really, Charlie Finley said, let them all become free agents at one time. And if everyone's out there at one time, then the salaries won't get crazy. Because teams will have to sign 10, 15, 20 players, and they won't spend all the money.
Sure.
He made the most sense at the time. But once Catfish's contract got expired, or whatever you want to call it, they could not renew it. He broke the bank with $3.75 million from the Yankees, and from there the gates opened, and you've got what you've got today.
As we have seen the game transition, and you just mentioned free agency and kind of what that did for the game back then, what are some changes that you might either like to see take place, or maybe see something that you have seen take place now that kind of takes you back to that moment in time, free agency servicing, like something that you think might really change the game?
Well, certainly what is changing the game, Braden, I think you know as well as I do, Glenn, you as well, the analytics are changing the game.
Yes.
They're even trying to change the swing of the game with launch angle and an upswing, and I'm not really a fan of that. I'm still involved with the Yankees and still involved with our offense.
Speaking of offense, that's a base hit to center field. It's going to knock home a pair. Stay hot, Stephen Piscotty. It's 6-0, the A's lead.
And I'm just not in favor of the upswing. I think you have to, the barrel has to learn to find the baseball squarely as often as possible. When you get that down and start to understand that, I think you can then start looking for the bottom of the baseball to hit the ball in the air. But I think you must learn to square the baseball as often as you possibly can and not try to get the ball in the air. You will learn that after you square the baseball.
All right, we'll talk more with Reggie when we come back. 6-0, the A's lead.
Your attention, please.
Folks.
How about the hat?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like the jacket better.
I got you. I got you. A little hard. There was only 4 or 5 of those jackets. I got you.
I know, that's exactly. They're not giving those to just anybody.
No. No.
I tell you, I really am rooting for this ball club to get a baseball stadium.
Yeah, that would be a nice thing.
If I had a wish that I could do to change the game, or I had a wish for baseball, I would wish the Oakland A's a brand new stadium.
Well, I'm going to talk to Santa Claus, Mr. Jackson.
Okay, bud.
Reggie, thanks for stopping by. Pleasure to see you as always.
Thank you, Glenn.
Reggie Jackson, the Hall of Famer, and the Oakland A's Hall of Famer. Always great to see Reggie Jackson. Top of the fourth inning. Aaron Hicks leading it off, followed by Sanchez and Voit. So always a pleasure to talk with Reggie Jackson, really one of the all-time great players, not just in A's history, but in all of baseball.
Yeah, it's 6-0, and I'm sure it was really exciting how it happened. That was awesome.
Yeah. And it's really hard to sit here and I mean, I'm a little older than you, and that's when I first remember, you know, the early to mid 70s is when I first remember like following baseball and remember things that are happening.
Sure.
So you see Reggie Jackson, and I can remember sitting with my dad when the night he hit 3 home runs in the World Series. And now you're sitting there going, that's the guy who did that.
Yeah, right.
Aaron Hicks with a base hit to left field. And I mean, listen, the reality with Reggie Jackson is he was a great player. He was a controversial player here and in New York. Wasn't afraid to speak his mind. Nope. And was liked by a lot of people and was disliked by people, right? But the camera was always on him, and he liked it, and he could perform when that happened.
Well, I tell you what, that's what happens when you're great. That's what happens when you're great. You're going to have a lot of people in your corner, and you're going to have a lot of people who would love to see you fall flat on your face. And I believe it was Barry Bonds who said, when 40,000 people pay to boo you, that's when you know you've made it.
Absolutely.
And Reggie,
he got booed a few times
in that class.
Didn't always see eye to eye with his manager, Billy Martin.
Nope. Well, as you said, he's a vocal player. Yep.
3 World Series titles with the A's, 2 with the Yankees. All coming in the 70s, from a span of 72 to 78, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 78. How about that?
So that's 5 in 7 years with 2 different teams.
It's a decent go. That's
a pretty good go. 0-2 to Gary Sanchez. Hicks is the runner at first. It's a shot toward Chapman. He's got it. Fires to second for one. On to first. Double play. Very hard hit ball, and then once Chapman fielded it clean, the A's had a pretty good chance of turning that double play.
Well, and I tell you, Mike Fiers does a great job of holding this baseball. As you watch Hicks, watch that front leg. You see him flinching, anticipating. Well, he might have thought about moving, but for Mike Fiers, holding the ball, continuing to, that doesn't allow him to get a good break off the bat. That allows the turn to be executed nice and smoothly. You know Chappie's going to get it over there to him in a hurry. But without Hicks boring down on Jed Lowry, makes that turn all the easier. Brought to you in part by Mike Fiers and holding the baseball.
I like it. 1-0 to Luke Voigt. Right field, Piscotty over, can't get it. Hey, you remember when you were in school, grade school, or maybe even high school, and like you were in class and you were probably bored, and then the principal came in,
yeah,
and he was like in the room,
sure,
and you felt like you had to tighten it up,
yeah,
and you had to be like at your best.
Zip it up.
That's the way I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
Look at the principal.
There he is.
Ken Korak is in the TV booth.
What's going on?
It's like I feel a little pressure.
A little bit.
Ken Korak, one of the greats, did a nice job emceeing the pregame. He's looking tight tonight, too, all dressed up. We like when Ken Korak comes into the TV booth. 6-0 A's.
California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and the first pitch thrown by Jonathan Holder. Pinder lines it into left field for a base hit. That is hit number 7 for the A's.
They're coming out blazing. They haven't waited around all night. The first pitch fastball. Fastball's good hitting.
So with the leadoff man aboard, here's Fegley. Fegley hit a fly ball to left field in the second inning. So Holder got the final out of the third inning. Luis Severino, 2 2/3 innings, 6 hits and 6 runs. So the struggles continue.
Well, we talked about sort of what his stuff looked like. And I know the numbers tell you the velocity is there. But what I'm trying to explain is there's a difference between and I'll use the term, light or feathery 96, maybe kind of straight, doesn't have any downward angle, gives the hitter a nice big visual to attack, as opposed to 96, 97 with some life in the zone, some finish. You hear guys talk about an extra gear, explosion. And even that pitch right there at 92, downhill, some arm side finish to that pitch.
So that's probably a better pitch than 96 right down the middle, and that's what Severino was throwing.
Right, 96 kind of flat, very, very hittable, especially for an Oakland A's team who's feeling very, very hitterish right now.
Hitterish, 7 hits. And a 3-0 pitch is outside. So 2 on and nobody out, and a time now for our first October Quest update. Here's Brody.
Center fielder, number 22, Ramon Laureano.
Yeah, we've been hearing too much of Alex Bregman.
Yeah.
We kicked around the idea like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, you know what? Maybe an MVP candidate. Maybe he should be in the conversation. Well, we're going to change that thought process. He definitely is an MVP candidate, and it's becoming more and more legitimate every day.
Yes.
29 home runs for Alex Bregman.
The homers, the doubles, the defense is pristine.
Got over 40 doubles. So the Astros get their 87th win. They've won 5 in a row. So the question now is, are the Astros starting to put the foot on the gas pedal a little bit? And that is possible.
Well, they've gotten healthy again.
Yeah. So we will continue to keep an eye on the Astros. That's bounced to third. And the Yankees will get the out at second, nothing else. So Laureano a fielder's choice.
Now batting third baseman, number 26.
So Matt Chapman with an RBI opportunity. So the Astros will be off tomorrow, and then they will be at Fenway Park this weekend. So that'll be a fun series to watch. The Astros and the Red Sox. Red Sox with the best record in baseball. Astros with the 3rd best record in baseball. Yankees with the 2nd. A's with the 4th.
Tell you, I'm not busy this weekend, Kipe. I just might become a Red Sox fan for about 72 hours.
72 hours only.
Oh, let's.
Evan Gattis also homered in that game for the Astros. His 25th. Luis Sessa starts to throw. So Chapman is 3rd at bat. Hey, you never know with Laureano. Keep an eye on him.
Speedy runner. Here just the bottom of the 4th. For the New York Yankees, a team that can destroy the baseball, get themselves back into the game with just a swing of the bat. Very similar to the Oakland A's. You want to keep the pedal to the metal.
One to Chapman. Just missed inside. I think Holder thought it should have been a strike.
Well, this is a ball again. We mentioned the downhill angle. Sanchez doing his best back there.
Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Sanchez.
Good breaking ball from Holder down. See Chappie frustrated, just unable to hold up.
Runner goes, and the ball's rolled to the right side. Voigt will tag Chapman. Run will come in to score. That's Pinder, and it's 7-0. So Laureano on the move. Chapman. You know what? Chapman may be not happy with that swing, but he did what he needed to do to get the run home.
Sure. Another productive out. Laureano on the move. That's going to negate the double play opportunity. Sort of an excuse me hold up check from Chapman. But hey, things are going right. Things are going right. But to your point, Kipe, you'd like a little bit better action on that, but the result you'll take.
Yep. 55th RBI for Matt Chapman. 7-0, the A's lead. And here's Jed Lowry. He's had a big ball game already. Hits this one high in the air down the left field line. That's Gardner, fair territory, makes the catch. So a run for the Athletics. We're headed to the 5th. 7-0 A's.
California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Calling all adventurers, explorers, and thrill seekers. Become a member of Roaring Camp's new Kids Club today.
7-0, the A's lead. This is the rubber game of the series. The A's will get a much-deserved off day tomorrow. This is the final game of 20 consecutive games. So that's a long stretch this time of year. So they will enjoy the off day. Get ready for the Texas Rangers over the weekend.
Yep, long stretch either way you slice it, but heading into September.
Watch Matt Chapman. I say he catches it. Oh my gosh.
We don't. You just take 2 minutes right now to yourself and we'll reconvene.
Should I go stand in the corner?
I'm not going to go that far. Just going to let you gather yourself.
Be scolded.
Just going to let you gather yourself.
I actually, in all honesty, I really honestly feel bad right now.
As a superstitious ball player, I'm going to.
You don't feel bad for me at all.
I'm going to turn a blind eye.
You do not feel bad for me at all. There's a part of you that is looking at me like you're a loser. Just want to apologize to everybody. I'm like bummed out right now.
It's, you know,
talk me through it.
We all have those nights. We do. You're excitable. We just had the Hall of Famer in here. You know, you're looking to make a play just like the rest of us.
You know what's going to happen? Matt Chapman's going to see me tomorrow or Friday. He's going to look at me and like blow me off.
Yeah, I mean,
I jinxed him.
I hope nobody gets that audio clip to him. Change up from Fires.
One and two to Neil Walker. Echeverria will be next, and then Gleyber Torres. In the dirt. Nice block by Fegley.
And you can see this is kind of what I was hinting at when I mentioned giving your pitcher the confidence to bury off speed with 2 strikes here. This one's about a 52-foot curveball, and Josh Fegley keeps it in front, and at no point does that give Mike Fiers any hesitation about going back to the well.
Simeon ranging to his left. He throws out Neil Walker, and let's check back in with Kara.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kyle Heath from South San Jose, and he is a super fan, truly like lives up to that phrase. He was here for the pregame ceremony, of course, honoring our Hall of Famers, and he has also brought a signed photograph of each of those Hall of Famers, except for Charlie Finley, of course. Longtime fan. Tell us about this amazing autographed album, a record album that you brought, Kyle.
Yeah, the album is like especially special to me because of I grew up on this. I got this album when I was about 9 years old, and I just wore it out. I played it like crazy, and it just was one of the first things that got me into the A's. And so I've gone on to have most of the players sign it, even Monty Moore and Roy Steele, and I even talked to Monty at length about this album. And
it's an album that celebrates the 1972 championship team and season, so very cool. This man is such a fan. He comes to about 20 home games, but that's not all. You travel. Tell us about your travels.
Yeah, I started this thing where since the '89 World Series, I've been to every A's road game in the state of California, so it really like snowballed into quite a thing. But
every single A's road game in the state of California. That's correct. Averaging about 20 at least a year. San Diego sometimes, obviously the Angels, Giants. Right. So you guys will see him in Anaheim in just a few weeks. You'll be there, of course.
I will. And yeah, I must say a special shout out to my favorite Oakland A of all time, John Blue Moon Odom, is on this album as well.
And he'll be there in Anaheim, won't he?
Not this time.
Not this time. Okay.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Impressive, guys. Look for this man and his wife, Donnie, in the stands in Anaheim. He'll be there repping the green and gold, of course.
Well, we will indeed look for him. If he's... Man, that's pretty good.
That's an awesome collection.
Yeah, that is a cool collection.
That's really cool.
I want to hear that album.
Get that thing going on the vinyl.
So every road game in the state of California since 1989.
1989. That's doing work.
That's pretty impressive, especially with interleague. I mean,
yeah. That's a lot of ball. You got me thinking about that album. What are the odds we get G-Eazy to spin something? Mix that up.
G-Eazy's been in the booth. I bet he doesn't know that album exists. Pop up. Piscotty, and Piscotty grabs it. 3 up, 3 down inning for Mike Fiers. That is a good-looking photo of a very young Roland Fingers.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
It's a good-looking logo. We've enjoyed it all year. Started in 1968. Hey, when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Luis Cessa comes in for his 11th appearance. Third pitcher of the night for the Yankees. Jonathan Holder goes an inning in the third. Chris Davis rips one to center, a base hit. In fact, that one's going to roll all the way to the wall, and Chris Davis is going to have a double. All right, time now for an October Quest update. Here's Brody. Yep. I think it's the Mariners are scratching their head a little bit. They're 5.5 games behind the A's for that second wild card spot. They will play 3 more times. Little fisticuffs in the clubhouse last night. That never helps. I mean, listen, some people buy into that theory that, oh, you know what, sometimes it brings a team closer together. Maybe it does. I don't know. You would know better than I, but
just seems like the Mariners right now are really fighting to get back in this thing. And to your point, at times you feel like when things have hit a boiling point, you have that closed door meeting, that come to Jesus talk, if you will, and you know what, tomorrow everybody wakes up on the right side of the bed and things just kind of get better. Well, it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah. Slowly hit, and the flip. Got him. That was a sensational play by Echeverria. Wow.
That's what we call do or die, folks. He's got one shot, one option. He's got one play, and this is it. Forget about the hand. Forget about securing this baseball and trying to flip it. You can see at no point does that glove close. This is a very true shuttle or shuffle of the ball, if you will. He doesn't grip that. He doesn't close it. It's just a mere redirection. Got to have soft hand.
Got to stretch by the first baseman.
Yeah. Voit go out there and get it, help him out.
Didn't stretch too early. So the runner, Chris Davis, is now at third. Yankees got to come in full shift on. Piscotty with a 2-run single in the third inning. But finishing up on the Mariners, they lost last night to the Orioles by a final score of 5-3. And this is an Orioles team that, well, they're 41-98. Piscotty swings and misses. But before we say too much about the Orioles, the A's have to go to Baltimore. I don't want to jinx anything. I've already done that once.
It's not something you're into.
Not anymore. 0-2 to Piscotty. 71 RBIs now for the A's right fielder. Red Sox beat the Braves today 9-8. The Braves led 7-1 after 7 innings, rolling along no problem. Red Sox came storming back and won the game 9-8.
Yeah, the go-ahead homer by pinch hitter dat dude Brandon Phillips.
Center field. Tagging up is Davis. Hicks coming in. Hicks has it. Davis is going to come a long ways down the line, and now he's got to hustle back, and he dives back in. Quite a throw by Hicks all the way to home plate on a fly. In fact, Sanchez had a leap up to catch it.
Well, and off the bat, you can see Chris Davis. He's got his eyes towards center field the entire time. He's got an understanding of the strong throwing arm. You can see Matt Williams communicating. Great job by Matt Williams over there. But with the play sort of, I don't want to say in front of you, but an opportunity to take a peek. Chris Davis, a good athlete, but maybe not the speediest guy on the field.
Well, I mean, thinking about what Chris Davis did, and I think it's a really good play because he's coming down the line all the way, and as he's coming down, he's looking at the trajectory of the throw, and if he can see that it's going to sail past the catcher, then he just keeps on running.
You got it.
So it's really really the right way to do it if you're Chris Davis, and if he sees that the catcher is going to catch it, then you stop and you get back, and that's what happened.
You think about making a big turn at first base, right? A ball into the gap or something that an outfielder does a good job of cutting off. You make that big turn at first base, you might be able to force a throw, force an errant throw, steal yourself 90 feet.
That's a nice block by Sanchez. Sanchez had a tough first inning. Watch Chris Davis now. He's looking to see the trajectory of the ball. He's looking the whole time.
Yeah, that's a great point, Kai. At no time does he turn his head to look towards home. This is purely about getting a read on the throw. Great call.
Line drive. Right field. McCutchen dives and he caught it. Some great defense by the Yankees here in the bottom of the fifth.
This season, folks, get A's home screen icons. Features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Good looking Ricky Henderson jersey. A few of those out there tonight. 7-0 the A's lead. It's the top of the 6th inning. 12 out of 13 retired by Mike Fiers.
That's right, since that first inning. 11 of 12, 41 pitches. So very efficient for Mike Fiers, and a good opportunity for the starter to breathe some life into that bullpen, get deep into the ball game here at 71 pitches now, just the 6th inning.
Well, listen, with the situation with the A's pitching staff, we're really, as far as the rotation goes, Fiers, Jackson, and Cahill, and after that, it's very up in the air.
There's some shuffling going on, and with off days, that sort of lends you the ability, if you're Bob Melvin and the rest of the staff, to manipulate. You've seen them dabble in the bullpenning approach, the opener approach.
It's going to happen again at some point, maybe real soon. But even though you have a whole host of relievers, whatever the number is now, 13, 14, you still want to keep that group fresh, and you want to keep your main guys fresh. So any outing you get from a starter that goes 6, 7 innings, that's like a godsend. I mean, and then you got an off day tomorrow. You are all ready to go for the weekend. And really, I mean, I think Bob Melvin in the front office, you really have to look at it day to day now.
You have to. With
the final, what, 22 games, 21 games after tonight?
Yep. What do you think about that's, what, 3 more turns for each starter?
Two and 2 to Gardner. And looking at the schedule, Dallas, with the 21 games left, 9 at home, 12 away, and the Rangers, then the road trip at Baltimore, at the Rays, home for the Angels, Twins, at Mariners, at Angels. So that's the opponent. You have, starting tomorrow, you have 4 off days left, which is a fair amount. So I think now the schedule gets fair for you the rest of the way.
Well, it is. This off day coming up is welcomed.
So Gardner strikes out number 1, and here's another October Quest update.
Number 27, Giancarlo Stanton.
So the Mariners using the long ball. Stanton a double and a fly ball to center field. It sounds like Shohei Ohtani is probably going to have the Tommy John surgery.
Looking that way.
It's not for sure. It's not. He has not said, yes, I'm going to, but I guess they found a little more damage new in that ligament.
New damage.
That's not good. Swing. A miss, struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mike Fiers.
Mike Fiers dropping the arm angle against Gardner and turning him into a window shopper. A little bit of the same here from Fiers. Adding some east to west movement on that split. Take a look. Again, he showed tremendous depth on his off-speed pitches tonight. Number 4 on the evening.
Here's McCutchen. So yeah, with the Ohtani thing, listen, when there's any damage to that ligament, the thought of it getting better, kind of a stretch.
Well, you think about Tanaka.
Hey, he's been able to avoid it, right?
Right. He's been able to avoid it, and I always go back to that scenario because it was UCL damage that they had identified, something they thought that could be rehabbed. They gave him the R&R, the rest and relaxation, and lo and behold, Masahiro Tanaka has been able to avoid the surgeon's scalpel.
Yeah. But I would say he's in the minority.
Yes. Time. But for Shohei Ohtani, I can't see. I guess I'm just not understanding of the pressing need to see if he is healthy at this point in time to where we would be getting him on the mound starting another Major League Baseball game with the question marks.
So you're saying the damage is there. Let's get it fixed.
And then I'm saying maybe lay out on running him out there in the DH role, him being a right-handed pitcher, that power hand, the bottom right hand, the torque inflection.
It's a very difficult decision if you think about it. Foul tip, hung on by Fegley, and Mike Fiers strikes out the side. He's retired 8 in a row. A's are rolling 7-0.
Four dealers is Mike Fiers. Pitching is fun, folks. Check out the arm angle on these 3 splits here. Dropping down just a little bit, not necessarily straight over the top like you've seen. Mike Fiers starting to have a lot of fun and spin some magic tonight. A tremendous effort thus far by the righty.
Indeed, 6 strong innings from Fiers, and the bullpen is quiet.
As it should be, Kipe. Let him go. That's not to say should the situation arise, matchups start to become an option. That doesn't happen again. September, looking to win ball games.
Again, we keep bringing up the off day tomorrow, which really beating that into the ground a little bit, but there's also an off day on Monday.
Right.
So Pinder strikes out. Luis Sessa gets his first strikeout.
But those off days, they matter.
I think they do too.
It's a huge, I mean,
especially when, you know,
Now batting the catcher.
doing what the A's are doing with the pitching staff and with the rotation.
anytime you can give 25, 35, in this case, maybe even 40 players on any one team an entire day of rest, that's a big deal. But off day, 3-game set, off day, you can really maneuver some things and get guys back on track, get them the rest they need.
Fegley with a fly ball to left and a walk. Fastball is high. A's have 8 hits in the game. The Yankees have just 2. Well, last night the A's only mustered 2 hits. They do not get shut down very often.
No, it's a good bounce back performance for Oakland. Jay Happ moving that fastball last night all over the zone, keeping these guys off balance. came out today very aggressive against a struggling Severino.
3-1 now to Fegley. Good swing by Josh, fouls it straight back.
Well, it also gives, talk about the off days, doubling up some rest for Lucroy gives the opportunity to Fegley continue to stay sharp, get those reps in.
Curveball hit high in the air behind third base. Echeverria waiting, he's got it.
Well, there's only one way to get the first crack at 2018 postseason tickets, folks, and that's to become a member of A's Access. That's right, with A's Access, you get general admission access to every single 2019 regular season home game, a plan of reserved seat tickets, and significant benefits. Plus, A's Access comes with 50% off concessions, 25% off merchandise, and awesome parking benefits for the rest of the season. Learn more at athletics.com/2019 today. A's Access, folks. Every game, your way.
So at the Hall of Fame, nice reception before the game today. And the big heads were there.
Yes.
And they came up to me. Yeah, which is very creepy talking to those guys because their heads are in their neck.
It's usually a one-way conversation.
No, so he got close so I could hear him, and he said, you know, the races are not rigged.
Oh.
I said, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
He said, no, they're not. And he went through, like, how it works. And now he's got me believing that maybe they're not rigged. But you have put the big head suit on.
I have. I've been on the inside. I have been behind the curtain. And I'm just going to tell you.
The green curtain?
I knew I was going to win in my mind.
So it was rigged in your mind.
And maybe a little projection.
They were pretty adamant about it, to the point where I think they felt like they needed to make a point to me. Driven to right center. Nobody's going to get it. Laureano's going to round second, and he puts the brakes on, and he's got a couple of doubles. Nice opposite way stroke.
Doesn't he? He's got a great path to the ball. See the top hand involved there at the very end. He's a strong kid. And he is fast. Check out the stride. Watch him stride it out. Hat on top of the lid. A little deke there. He's fun to watch, guys.
Yes, he is. Base hit left field. Shoots right past Walker. Laureano's going to come in to score, and it's going to be another double. This one belongs to Matt Chapman. 8-0 A's.
That's 35 dubs on the year for Matt Chapman, and this ball is torched. How about that? Not every day you see an infielder at the big league level square up to field the ball and have it go behind him.
6 doubles tonight for the A's, 10 in the series. The A's have 288 doubles this year. That's the second most in the American League. Since the break, Chapman's got 18 doubles. Olson's got 15. Lowry drives one toward Gardner left. And that'll do it. Another run for the A's. Matt Chapman RBI double. 8-0 after 6.
be Gary Sanchez just having a rough night behind the dish. A couple pass balls, some errant blocks. Just not his best night back there for the Kraken. And the A's have taken advantage, Kipe.
4 in the first. They've kept rolling, so 8-0. We have reached the 7th inning with Mike Fiers back to work. He's retired 8 in a row. He's given up just 2 hits, a double by Stanton in the first and a single by Hicks in the 4th. And he threw 28 pitches in the first inning, and he was wobbling. But talk about settling down.
That's the thing, you get out of it. Nice little ground ball to Chapman to shake that hook.
The Fiers at 88 pitches.
You can see him attack first pitch fastball, get ahead, strike one, got an 8-run lead deep in the ball game.
This is Fiers' 6th start with the A's. He's gone over 100 pitches in 2 of the first 5. In fact, he's gone right to 100 pitches.
Not quite the struggle it's been for Luis Severino this evening. You mentioned 29 starts on the year for Severino coming into tonight. Excuse me, 28 tonight being the 29th. But 14 of those starts, 100+ pitches.
Two pitch to Hicks. A little bit inside. Well, the Yankee starting rotation is the gentleman we saw today, Severino, Tanaka, Happ, Lance Lynn, who they just acquired, and CC Sabathia. That's their rotation. Sonny Gray, who has struggled this year, is not in their rotation. A little bit low, very close pitch. So leadoff man aboard for the Yankees, and let's check back in with Kara.
Guys, after a much-needed off day tomorrow, the A's return on Friday for a great series against the Rangers. On Friday before the game, Chad Pinder will be awarded his nomination for the 2018 Clemente Award. It's a very special honor. Chad told NBC Sports that it's an honor and a privilege to be mentioned in the same sentence as Roberto Clemente. And there is a fan vote involved in this. Each club has a nominee, but fans can help vote to select the overall winner. MLB.com/Clemente21. So that's Friday. On Saturday, check out this guy. That's right, it's a Hispanic Heritage Day. 15,000 fans will take home the Sugar Skull bobblehead. Check this guy out. Nice glossy bobblehead. Good looking fella to add to your shelf just in time for Halloween or Dia de los Muertos. Not sure what the kids are going to think about it. It's got a little of a creepy element to it, but a very cool element at the same time. So great weekend ahead here at the Coliseum for the green and gold. I know you guys are dying to take this guy home for your families.
Yeah, I mean that's, you know what, that's a good like bring that out on Halloween.
It's a good,
you know what I mean?
It's a good quality bobble. It's
something different.
Yeah, a lot of integrity to it.
Yes. Sturdy, secure.
It is.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chevrolet. 15,000 fans.
That's right.
It's a good one.
A lot of times the bobble can compromise the integrity of the bobblehead.
You guys are bobble experts, I can tell.
Definitely. You are definitely a bobble expert. The Warriors bobbles fall apart. A's bobbles seem to last.
Ooh. Oh, she took a shot right there at the world champs.
I've got a lot at my house, let me tell you.
Oh. A little bit low. 1-2 the count to Gary Sanchez.
Just think Coco, the movie Coco.
Yasmero Petit now starting to throw. Myers at 95 pitches.
Think about Petit. Guy most well equipped down there to give you more than one. Fire's starting to creep up into the 90s with the pitch count. I think he might be a hitter-to-hitter basis here for Fires. He's able to dispose of the Kraken Sanchez at the plate. Could buy himself Luke Voigt.
Sanchez with a mighty swing, he rolls it foul.
For Mike Fiers right now, you want to execute, you want the opportunity to finish 7 strong innings for your ball club. You can get Sanchez to roll something up here.
And it's low, so Yankees are putting together a couple good at-bats here against Fiers, making them work.
Well, 3-2, 8-0. Challenge heater down and away, might be able to get Gary Sanchez to roll this over.
Instead, he launches one to left field, and the Yankees are going to be on the board. Home run number 15 for Gary Sanchez, and it's 8-2.
Well, he challenged him. 3-2, your best, my best. Just a pitch up. Gary Sanchez extremely strong. Does not miss.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog expert. 6+ innings tonight and 6+ good innings for Mike Fiers.
Gary Sanchez. Statcast got it about 111, 26-degree launch angle, 424 feet, all the way up into the night sky. Ball was leaned on, Kipe.
Yes, it was, and that's the only damage done to Mike Fiers, so he is done at 99 pitches. Statcast AI powered by AWS. He's now Luke Voigt. Will hit against Petit, 6-3 with a 3.29 ERA. 82 innings in 64 appearances.
He's a worker.
Off the end of the bat, Pinder waits. Voigt is retired. And that'll bring up Neil Walker.
Number 14, Neil.
Well, this is where the value of Petit is really felt and appreciated. Instead of having to go to maybe some guys you haven't seen or maybe some guys that you've relied on heavily throughout the season, you've got a guy now who you have supreme confidence in not only getting the job done here in this spot, but probably finishing this thing out need be. And you do have an off day, as we've mentioned.
Last night, the A's used 8 pitchers with, of course, Liam Hendriks starting. And don't be surprised if you see that again.
Well, I think in the end of it all, you start walking away with W's and everybody's feeling fine the next day. It's something you have to start to pay attention to. And again, whether or not it's sustainable over the course of an entire 162 on into the postseason, well, that's a different story. But I think in short bursts and in a small body of work, as we've seen, I mean, the Tampa Bay Rays are the larger body of work to assess. But
yeah, I mean, it's out of necessity. These have 3 starters that they feel like they can rely on. So Walker has a base hit.
Well, nothing more. It looks like a little changeup. Just didn't make its way to the bottom of the zone.
Number 29.
Up enough for Neil Walker to handle.
So Walker has his first hit. Only 4 hits for the Yankees. And here's Echeverria.
Echeverria's had some good offerings at the fastballs tonight. There's another one.
Not getting cheated.
No, he is not. He's got bad intentions.
Echeverria. Strikeout, and then he flied out to right field. The fly ball to right field was in foul territory.
Remember the homer last night. Fastball up from Pagan. Just out of the reach of the outstretched Mark Canha.
Fastball, swing and a miss, 1-2.
See, he likes that up there. Yusmeiro Petit, a guy with pinpoint control, might see him try to
climb a little bit,
work the meat ladder.
So 2-2 the count. Speaking of starters, Brett Anderson threw today. And the report was he was going to throw again on Saturday. Said he's feeling better. And after Saturday, if he says, hey, I feel pretty good, he has a chance to maybe start a game on the upcoming road trip. That's all a maybe. So that would be a good thing. Get Brett Anderson back out there. We'll see.
Be a nice little bonus. Throw a lefty in there.
Pitch is hit foul. Really not a lot going on with Sean Manaea, and that has to be a concern. Or whether we'll see Sean Manaea again this year.
Yeah, it's a tough situation not only for Sean, but for the ball club as well. You want to do everything you can to keep guys on the field. Obviously, somebody who has impacted the position of this club from the beginning of the season, and it's tough to think he won't be around.
Piscotti sliding catch. He had to run a long ways for that one. Watch how far Piscotti has to go.
Well, he's on his horse. He gets a good read off the bat. Gets around the ball, coming in nice and straight. Fields it off to the side. No problem for Piscotti. But just to kind of finish up on Sean Manaea in that situation, obviously doing everything he can to get himself back, get himself healthy. The outstanding training staff. Jeff Collins, Nick Paparista, Brian Shulman putting their heads together. So it's a total team effort come September to keep everybody as healthy as possible and get everybody on the field.
Good pitch. 0-2 to Gleyber Torres. Torres has grounded out and hit a fly ball to right field.
And a little bit of a scary incident today during batting practice for the Yankees, and Gleyber Torres hit during BP by a line drive on the ankle. But was able to walk it off and man the post.
In the air, Lowry's there. Got it. Gary Sanchez with a 2-run homer, 7th inning stretch time. Hall of Fame class for the Oakland A's. Pretty good. Dave Stewart, Raleigh Fingers, Dennis Eckersley, Ricky Henderson, Reggie Jackson, Catfish Hunter, and Charlie Finley. So the guys look great in their green jackets. They enjoyed it. The fans enjoyed it, and so did we. We had full coverage of it here on NBC Sports California. Talked to Reggie a couple innings ago. That's a nice photo, isn't it?
Is it good that Mr. Jackson and I have the same arm action? That's looked a little.
He's got a better fastball than you do. Bottom of the 7th inning, the A's leading at 8-2, trying to win the series over the Yankees. Tyler Wade is in the game for the Yankees. He's in right field, so Andrew McCutchen is done for the evening. Chris Davis has a pair of doubles. He has scored once. That was back in the first inning. Trevino and Guerin. Pretty good breaking ball, strike 3 call.
Incomplete defensive change.
Tough to pull the trigger on this pitch.
Not easy. He's fighting off the heater, and he gets an 81-mile-an-hour slider with depth down and away. See that red dead circle of death.
So with 1 out, here's Matt Olson, who's 1 for 3. He has a double. He doubled in a run in the first. He also scored in the first.
You know, Kai, maybe I'm biased. Probably I'm biased. I am biased.
No, you're not. Okay, a little bit.
But when Matt Olson stays on the ball to the other field, I mean, it's one of the sweeter finishes, the sweeter looks, the sweeter swings in baseball.
He has the good finish. The high golf swing finish.
Yeah. And I think it was see the look at the side swing, the head drop coming through the zone with some fury. It's really interesting to hear Mr. Jackson talk about, you know, guys who finish high and guys who finish low, but have the same idea in mind when he was playing hard ground ball, low line drive. And he mentioned, you know, I asked him, do you feel like that's a byproduct, or home runs a byproduct of that approach? And he felt so.
Olson's going to be retired. Well, we want to listen to Reggie Jackson if you're talking about hitting home runs. Hey, Sunday, Greg Papa and Dante Whitner join Jeff Garcia on 49ers pre and post game live 1 hour before and after the Niners face the Vikings in Minnesota to open the season. And you're going to get in-depth 49ers coverage every night with our insider Matt Nyoko on NBCSportsBayArea.com. The home of the authentic 49ers fan is NBC Sports Bay Area. 49ers with a great finish last year. See if they can carry it over. Tough place to start, though, at Minnesota.
And Jimmy G going to do his best.
Yeah. 0-2 to Stephen Piscotty. I think baseball players, they're sports fans. And it's fun to watch the baseball players on Sunday, NFL Sunday, week 1. They'll be into it.
Oh yeah,
talking some smack.
What's you know, the video room is a great spot to be if you're a pitcher.
Hit well to right field. Wade spins around. He's got it. Side retired. A's go quietly in the 7th. We are moving to the 8th.
that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
All right, that's one of our good buddies. Talked with him when we did the game from the treehouse. Hey, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Lou Trevino comes in. He's got 8 wins. He's got 4 saves. Pretty good rookie season for Lou Trevino.
Not a bad one. Been relied upon heavily this season. And I think one of the things that folks who might just be getting introduced to sweet Lou Trevino need to know is this is a man who he'll give you 1 out, he'll give you 2 innings, anywhere in between. And I think that the mentality that just give me the ball and show me the rubber mentality has served him well. Because one of the things I think about is Lou Trevino having emerged as a force at the back end of a bullpen. Now you acquire some veteran bullpen help. What does that do to the psyche of a young man who has done his job and done it very well, to all of a sudden find himself in a little bit different position, deployed a little bit differently? That can mess with guys at times. But for Sweet Lou, it's just about sounds good.
How about this?
Pitching a little earlier, I guess.
How about this? Another way to look at it. First year in the big leagues, having a good year. Now you can sit down there for 5, 6, 7 innings and pick the brain of Fernando Rodney, and Familia, and Petit, and Trinan,
Kelly.
I mean, there's something to that too.
Big time. Talking about surrounding an arm that's going to be influential in the future for your organization with arms you've identified that can really help right now.
One and 2 to Gardner. That one slapped foul down toward that crowded bullpen. Looks like 3 seats available down at the far end. Just 3. One belonged to Petit, the other one belonged to Trevino. It is an aisle seat, though.
It is.
Pretty good take by Gardner. 2 and 2 the count.
You see the guys bundled together. You know, you group up and keep it tight for body warmth.
Stephen Tarpley, a left-hander, warming up for the Yankees. Yankees will be off tomorrow. They will be in Seattle for the weekend. Marcus Semien charges and gets a good hop and throws out Gardner. And is out number 1. In time now for an October Quest update. Here's Brody. So the Mariners looking for their 78th win of the year. They are, if you're the Mariners, obviously, you're really, when it comes to scoreboard watching, you're really watching one team.
Yep.
And that's the Athletics. You're not going to catch the Astros. You're not going to catch the Yankees for the first wild card.
And the Oakland A's are doing everything they can to ensure that there's no ground made up between the two of them.
Yeah, I think for the A's, if you want to look ahead a little bit, put together a game plan. What you don't want is those 3 games in Seattle on the final week. You don't want them to mean anything.
Nope.
You want to go to Seattle with nothing to worry about.
And I mean, worst case scenario, you roll into Seattle needing to win just one. If things were to shake out that fashion and those games really mean something, you're going to see them and then you're going to see Anaheim. You'd like to go into Seattle being able to win a game or two and that really deciding the fate should it get to that point.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss by Stanton. He strikes out for the second time. So 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Authentic Fan Fridays are here. They're at the Treehouse right behind section 234. Friday the Rangers are here. First 500 fans that show up get an Authentic A's jersey, and all fans can pick up one of our Collector Series cheer cards. This week it's the man we had in the booth earlier. It's Reggie Jackson. For details, log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com. Wade, his first at bat, and he's retired. Lou Trevino, 3 up, 3 down inning, bottom of the 8th coming up.
Or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
All right, here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. A's got 4 in the first, never looked back. They led 6-0, 7-0, 8-0. Yankees got a 2-run homer by Sanchez in the 7th. Severino, his struggles continue. 5 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings. Mike Fiers, he ends up going 6+, and he was very good. There's a base hit for Marcus Semien. First pitch Marcus sees from Stephen Tarpley. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Second appearance for Stephen Tarpley. First pitch to Pinder is a strike in the outside corner. Pinder's 1 for 3. Big sweeping breaking ball by Tarpley. Tarpley had good minor league numbers between AA and AAA this year. 7-2 with a 1.94 ERA. Did that in 36 games. So a well-deserved call up to the big leagues, and he made his major league debut on Sunday.
What do you think? Show Aaron Boone you can get some outs here. Auditioning for the potential postseason. Everybody needs a lefty kite.
That one is sliced foul down the right field line. Hey, Xfinity X1 customers, say show me the Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Fastball away, 93 miles an hour.
So you can run it up there, 92, 93, 94. Good big breaker.
That one in the dirt. Sanchez blocks it. Pretty good looking scorebook. A lot of dark spots in that early inning. He scored 4.
Keep it score like kite.
Yeah. And Chad Pinder tried to hold up, could not do it. And Pinder strikes out.
This might have been a changeup down. Pinder unable to hold up.
So with 1 out and Simeon at first, here's Fegley. Josh Fegley, his 4th at bat. He walked back in the 4th inning, 0 for 2. He's now with 11 hits in the game. Six of those 11 doubles. No need for a long ball tonight.
No, well, that's where the damage has come from. A couple of back-to-back doubles early on in the game off Severino. A couple back-to-back doubles back in the 6th.
Oh, 2 to Fegley. And a slider, strike 3 call. 2 away.
Time now for the Chrysler drive of the game. And the double agent, Laser Ramon Laureano, going to work, leading off the game. Cruising into second with a stand-up double, and now the oppo pop the other way. Spraying the ball all over the yard tonight. Becoming a very, very exciting young player to watch for the Oakland Athletics.
So we got a new pitcher coming in, 8-2, bottom of the 8th. Look ahead to the upcoming series against the Texas Rangers. The A's lead the season series 10-6. They've outscored the Rangers 91-66. So the season series favors the A's. We'll see how the A's can do in the final 3 games. It'll be Gallardo and Bassett on Friday. Mendez, young left-hander, and Jackson on Saturday. Jurado and Cahill on Sunday. So the A's will see a veteran and a couple of youngsters for the Texas Rangers. Rangers, a down year for the Rangers. They lost tonight. They're 61-79. So the new pitcher is Tommy Conley. Takes over with the runner at first and 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Facing Ramon Laureano.
Keenly, some reverse split action. 310 average against the righties, only 100 against the lefties.
Good swing by Laureano. Seems like Laureano too, he's not afraid most of the time to wait, and he'll foul it off, or not afraid to hit the ball to the right side. We've seen him do that tonight. Chokes up with 2 strikes.
See him up on that axe handle, more barrel control with 2 strikes.
Chases that one upstairs and he strikes out. A hit, nothing else for the Athletics. 9th inning coming up. Guerin coming in.
Entered A's history with the 12th no-hitter in club history with his no-no against the Red Sox. On Friday, September 21st, we celebrate that special night with a Sean Manaea bobblehead brought to you by NBC Sports California. Grab your tickets for the special night at athletics.com/tickets.
That was a fun night.
Yeah, you just hate to see that if you're a Red Sox fan.
So do you walk by Sean Manaea occasionally and go, "It's no hitter, nice." I mean, it's not really a perfect game, but it's okay.
Yeah, you know, I kind of ribbed him and Stu a little.
I believe that. I believe that you probably have done that.
That's all I got, guy.
That's a good thing to have. A perfect game. First pitch to Hicks, up and away from Corey Guerin. He's the 4th pitcher of the night for the A's. Fiers went 6. Petit pitched the 7th. Trevino pitched the 8th. Hicks has walked twice and singled, so the A's have yet to retire Hicks.
See Hicks just looking to get something started.
Not in a big hurry.
No. Got a big hack.
The time of game police probably don't want to watch the Hicks-Guerin matchup.
It's methodical.
That's a nice way to put it. Methodical. So 2-2 the count. And he got him. Good pitch. So Hicks gets caught looking.
See here. Not sure if this is a changeup.
Now batting.
It looks like it. I turned it over a little bit.
Yeah, either way, just a slight reduction of velocity, and he turns old Hicks into a window shopper.
Here's Gary Sanchez. A little bit low. He lost me already.
Well, he found my book.
Abstract algebra.
Yeah.
That's redundant for me.
It's a it's the pastime, Cut. It's America's pastime.
Oh my God.
Tell you what, his E4 and my E4, they equal something different.
Yeah,
I promise you.
Good call. The count with Luke Voigt, the on-deck hitter. Right on the inside corner. Sanchez with a walk, a double play, and then a 2-run homer. That was in the 7th inning. Three and 2. Guerin slider.
Think he might get another one here. 3-2. Gary Sanchez, not somebody you just want to lay a sinker in there and challenge. There's a good chance he can turn you around. You go fastball, try to paint it low and away, make him beat you the other way.
Chapman scoops it, short hop, throws in time. So nice play by Matt Chapman. He comes racing in.
Well, poetry in motion. Short hop, scoop it up, take a few, rifle on over to Ole. Standard 5-3. There's just guys that make things look a heck of a lot easier than they really are.
Yeah, he is definitely in that category.
Matt Chapman, one of those guys.
Right on top.
Oh, man. We talk a lot about Robbie Cano on the other side in Seattle. The way he turns the double play.
Right center, and it's going to fall. I think the thing with Chapman, that so many different ways to describe him, but he's smooth, but he's also going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Robinson Cano's smooth, but he's not going 100 miles an hour.
You almost have to check for a heartbeat at times.
Whereas Chapman, I mean, that motor is it's cranked up all the way.
Football guys would call that a high motor.
Yeah, but he's smooth. So here's Walker. Voit gets his first hit. That's the 5th hit for the Yankees tonight. This pitch runs off the plate. This should do it. Olson's got it. He'll take it himself. And that's the ball game. So the Oakland A's take 2 out of 3 from the New York Yankees. A very good series for the A's. And with the win, the A's keep pace with the Astros, who won in the division. It's now 3.5. And in that wild card, the A's are now 3.5 behind the Yankees for the #1 wild card spot. So that is the updated standings. The A's win it tonight. Time of game was 2 hours and 53 minutes. The attendance was 21,004. Final score tonight, the Athletics 8 and the Yankees 2. Time now to head out to the treehouse where Brody and the gang are standing by for A's Postgame Live.